was 2 weeks ago
Uh-huh.
about the guy that had I was talking to, and his dad got prostate cancer. I
Right.
don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. So he reached out 2 days ago,
Uh-huh.
and he's saying that he wants us to continue talking and doing our dating things because the shock kind of like wore off now,
Okay.
and he got some that but like skeptical. I was thinking like if I should just like go back doing the same thing, or if I should just take that as an opportunity, just to cut things off.
What do you want to do?
That's my question.
No, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
You know what you want to do. You don't know what
I
you
really
should
don't
do.
know. I really want to give it a try, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. That's why I'm asking for advice. I'm a little bit confused right now.
What are you confused about?
The fact that after 2 3 weeks, like he got back and asking me for us to back, like normal and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
saying like shot kind of wore off. So now I'm thinking like let's say, and like something else happen again, like if anything else happen in the future, like if he's gonna do the same thing, just like cut me up for a little while and then until you know what I'm saying, and he's back to normal. That's my whole
Right. I understand that.
worry right now.
That's a valid concern. But in this situation, it was a very valid move for him to like put a pause on things because
Okay.
his father got cancer, right? So that is a justifiable reason to put a pause on things, right? And
Okay.
y'all were not dating long when that occurred. So it's not like he built up like a very strong, profound connection with you, got into a relationship with you, told you he loved you, and then went ghost on you. That's not the situation. Y'all just kind of started getting to know one another, and then his father found out that he had prostate cancer. So that makes sense to me, right? That makes sense why he would want to put the ice on things. But I also understand your fear of like, okay, if I entertain this, will you just do the same thing? Not necessarily, because the hypothetically, the main reason why he was even able to do that this time is because y'all didn't have a deep connection yet. Y'all hadn't dated long, right? Now in the future,
Yeah.
let's say y'all actually get into a relationship. Y'all date for a longer time. You'll get into a relationship. Y'all start integrating your lives together. Okay, in that situation, he may look at you as someone to like help support him on, during that journey. So instead of something to create distance from, you will be the source to kind of lean into a bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I will say definitely check it out. Now if he does this again in a short period of time, then I would say yeah, go ahead and end the connection. So
Okay.
if another month or so he tries to
Go past this
put
light.
it on ice
Then, at
again.
the next one, turn left onto McGee Avenue.
Okay.
If like a month or so he tries to put it on ice again, then just go ahead and just cut the connection.
Thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, love. You take care.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Maz, can we take her off? My screen isn't reacting. Or at least if you know how to take yourself down, you can do that. All right, who else do we got? Who else do we have? Hello,
Hello,
how you doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
Great. What can I do for you, love?
Okay, so I wanted to know what are some ways to explore peace with a good man when you're used to dealing with weird ones. You know what I mean?
What made
Or
them
like
weird?
how can you not self sabotage that?
Gotcha. Um, are you dating like a healthier person right now?
Yes, I actually am. That's why I like
Okay.
really want
Right.
it.
I
And yeah.
listen. I wish some of the women I've dated asked this question. They typically don't ask it. They just go right to the sabotaging. But okay. So how long have you been dating him?
We dated before, um, and that was for about 6 months. And we stopped dating because he was in the military, so he had to, he went deployed. He was deployed. I don't know why I couldn't find the word for it, but he went deployed, and I was like, yeah, nah.
Okay, that's
And
fair.
so moving forward, once he got back, we talked again, and he's actually getting out. So now we've been dating for about 4.5 months.
Okay, nice. How did y'all meet?
Believe it or not, Facebook dating.
Wow, y'all like the one success story that's ever come from Facebook dating. Y'all should like be on the Facebook logo now. Y'all the one couple that made it. Okay, so what makes you think that you are potentially going to sabotage this?
Like my communication, like when it comes to like, cause he do be busy, but he does communicate when he can. So for me, it's not. I don't know if it's like a trauma thing or what, but I'll be wanting to know like where you at. You know what I mean? Where you at? What you doing? X, Y, and Z. But I also don't be trying to be like too pushy. Hold on, cause this boy.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead, throw him outside real quick.
Oh no, he be walking me. It's a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So that was. Oh my god, he's so nice. But yeah.
Okay. So y'all been dating for 4 months, met on Facebook dating, and the way that you feel like you're sabotaging is you constantly want updates.
Yes, and like when we do have disagreements, because he's very traditional, and I'm more so free spirited, if you will.
Okay.
And so like that's like a thing as well. So it's like he likes modesty, but I dress like sexy modest, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like not showing too much, but most definitely like you can see that, like I'll wear like skin fitting stuff, like body fitting stuff.
Okay. And
Type of things.
has that created a problem?
Not really, because I have like the wardrobe that he's talking about, like it's within my scope, but he just gotta understand my scope. You know what I mean?
Right. But like, has he
Like he
verbally?
hasn't overstepped the boundary.
So he hasn't said anything to suggest that he doesn't like it.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He was just more so of like a way. He was like, I would prefer da 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 da. Like it's not in a rude way. And I was like, okay, I understand what you would prefer. Like you could prefer to date someone else, or you could prefer to just let me be cute. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Okay. I'm with you. That is probably gonna be a deeper problem though. That doesn't mean you should change because you're right. The way you're thinking about it is correct. It is if you want someone who dresses this way, then that's who you should go after. Completely agree with you, right? That's gonna be a problem though. The way that he said it was him trying to healthily say it without being controlling.
Right.
So that's definitely keep an eye on that. That's gonna definitely be something that comes back up, and that's probably gonna be something that gets bigger over time. So if there's ways to compromise on that, compromise. But if you're firm on that, then I understand it as well. Um, but the whole wanting to keep tabs on her, where does that come from? Why do you feel the need to do that?
Like all of my past relationships have ended in cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only been in two, so.
Okay.
But there's like obviously long term, but yeah.
Okay. All of your past relationships have ended in cheating. How long were those two relationships?
5 and then 4. No,
Yeah.
I'm tripping. 4.5 and then 2 years.
Okay. All right. So you want to keep tabs on him. Before you got cheated on, did you still move that way? Did you always want to stay in constant communication with the person you were with?
I did. I did say.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Okay. So, do you know anything about attachment styles?
Anxious attachment.
Okay, so you know it. You know what you are already.
Yes.
Right. So that's going to be something for you to work on. That's going to be something for you to practice in this connection. Like practicing healing your attachment style and applying some of the things that we talk about here. A lot of people watch this live and they watch it for information. They want to get like the aha moment, but that
Right.
shit don't matter. You haven't learned anything if you haven't changed your behavior. I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to the chat. You watch this live or any live like this. If you haven't changed your behavior, you haven't learned anything. I don't care what you can articulate. I don't care what you can explain. I don't care what you can verbalize. Your behavior has not changed. You haven't learned anything. Okay? So I'm gonna shoot it straight with y'all because a lot of people here think they're like, oh, I can talk about anxious, avoid it. None of that shit matters unless your behavior can actually shift. So you're in a situation where right now you can practice shifting your behavior. You're healing your attachment style when you make yourself uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for you to feel that anxiousness, that anxiety, and not act on it. It's gonna take practice. It's gonna take practice for you to learn that what I have clients do is not to go too deep into the weeds, but that feeling is not you. I make it the way I think about it is like you're being possessed in a way.
Mm.
So when you feel that anxiety, something else is talking to you. That's not you. Because you probably made the mistake in this relationship or past relationships where you'll feel that anxiety, do something or say something, and then after that moment passes, you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why did I send that text message? Right? Because it won't you. So when you feel that way, just know that whatever it's telling you is automatically the wrong thing. Because it's not you. You are actively being possessed in that moment, in a way. Okay? There's a lower part of you that's kind of taking the reins. That's going to be enough to start to help you reduce how much of a problem it is. You still won't ultimately solve it with that approach, but it is a short-term band-aid solution to stop creating more problems than are necessary. But ultimately, a big thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make your world bigger and get more clarity on who you are as a person so that you are less dependent on a romantic connection.
Yes, and I've actually been doing that. Like I've been getting back into my hobbies of like painting,
Nice.
like running and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been very, cause like I've been keeping myself busy instead of actually, you know what I mean, like worrying about what he's doing.
Right.
So it most definitely has been a lot better.
So that helps you doing that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just feels weird.
Right.
And I did see somebody like in the comments say, well, she didn't want to change it. I actually found like a style like that's comfortable for the both of us, like that he likes. That's like modest and it's not like sexy, but it's still comfortable to me.
Okay.
So I did listen, and you know he does not like. That's why I say he doesn't say anything.
That's good.
Anymore. Yeah. Like instead of me saying like, oh, like in the past I'll be like, oh, you're insecure, something like that. No, like, okay, I see what you mean. Like you don't you again, traditional man. So it's like, okay, I get it. So
Right.
yeah, like it's and instead of me like asking him where he's at, I have this thing in my journal where I'll keep a tally when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of texting him.
Beautiful. So now you're taking the action in a different way instead of people who have a tendency to overeat. They do the same thing. If they feel like they have to eat more, they'll write it down. It's just another place for them to put that energy. So that's smart. So yeah, keeping track of when you're doing it helps you to shift your focus on not actively engaging it. Ultimately, though, the way out of healing the anxiousness, which you're already doing because you're making your life bigger than what it currently is, it's going to make peace with that anxious feeling.
Oh.
That's really the way out. Is when you feel anxiety, don't feel like that's something that has to be changed. It's not a problem that has to be solved. Because it's likely that feeling is not going away. It may lessen in intensity. I still feel that way sometimes,
Right.
right? So
That's
it's
why
like,
I wanted to go away overnight.
right, right. And it's probably not going to, but what you do is you build capacity. So you build capacity. It's like you're in the gym and you're just lifting heavier weights. You're building capacity to lift more. You're building capacity to feel that feeling without needing to engage it or taking it seriously. I equate it to like your body telling you that you're tired or you're receiving like a hunger cue, like it's time to eat. Like, yeah, you can acknowledge that you're hungry, but you don't have to eat right now. You can if you want to, or you can wait an hour or two, right? So you got to look at the anxious feeling. The anxiety is that same way. It's like you know what it's telling you. You can acknowledge it, but you don't have to act on it because you know that what it's telling you doesn't really serve you. It's old conditioning. It's an old pattern. It's an old identity, one that you have outgrown or at least are in the process of outgrowing. And you're not going to be perfect with this, but you just need to focus on progress, right? It's progress, not perfection. You're already implementing things to kind of make it so that's less of a problem in the relationship. And that's all. That by itself makes you a high quality person to be with. Like a high quality person to be with isn't someone who's perfect. It's not someone who doesn't make any mistakes. It's someone who like actively tries to understand where they could be going wrong, where they could be contributing negatively to the dynamic, and then actually trying to solve the problem. That's the best you're going to get. If you're that way, you're top tier. Most people aren't like that. Most people view everybody else as being the problem. They externalize the problem. They don't ever look in the mirror. You're actively looking in the mirror. So even if it doesn't work out with him, you're building a version of yourself that's going to be a match for any other high quality guy out there.
Yeah, and that's what I like about him. He tells me about myself, but in a nice way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. I wish y'all the best. Just keep doing what you're doing. There's no magic solution. You're already doing the work. Just keep doing the work. Keep walking the path. You'll be fine. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, love. But best of luck to you. Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Maz, y'all gonna have to take people down if y'all don't mind, because for whatever reason TikTok is bugging, so I can't do it. If I click their picture, nothing happens. What's up, Danny? What's up, Deleted Baddie? All right. Whoa, we got quite a few people in the queue. Okay. Melly Mel seems intelligent. Looking at her bio, quoting Young. She might have already dropped though. Let me see. We gotta get rid of the matchmakers though. Let me see. The trip was good, Tiffany. Appreciate you asking. Literally just got back in. And like immediately got on live. Hello.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What can I do for you?
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
So I've been talking to this guy for like 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know. I'm scared to go on with the relationship because I'm just scared to get hurt. And it's nothing like he's a great guy and everything, but just because of my past relationships, I've had bad luck. And I'm just scared to go on. I just feel like it's going to fail, just like my previous relationships.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have are y'all in a relationship or you're just talking?
Right now, we're just talking, but things are getting a little bit serious, and it scares me.
Okay. How long have y'all been talking?
2 months. We're going on 3 months next month.
2 months, going on 3 months. Okay. And how did y'all meet?
Um, through Instagram.
Okay. Okay. And you said that your previous relationships have just like ended badly and you're afraid that this is going to do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was your last relationship?
Um, my serious relationship, it was, I think it was 2023, 22, somewhere there, but I've just been like, in like situationships, let me say situationships ever since. And they've all fallen through. Like, they didn't work out.
Why did the last one not work out?
And the last one, I feel like he was a little bit childish and impatient. And yeah, I feel like he was childish and impatient with me because I had trust issues, and I guess he didn't have the patience to like baby me and always like, reassure me.
Okay. And
Yeah, so we just ended things.
Okay, so he was the childish one because he didn't want to reassure you?
Um, Let me just say he was a little bit petty.
In what way?
Um, okay, say for instance, when things don't go his way, like if he wants to see me and I do tell him I'm busy or I can't come through, or when I refuse to like, have sex with him and stuff like that, he would like just give me the silent treatment and just be petty, go out with his friends and just do whatever he wants, so to say. I don't know how to really explain it. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry, my English is bad.
No, you're fine. That makes sense. So, in what way did you need reassurance?
I feel like I have the anxious attachment style.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I don't know. I just feel like I don't. You know how when you start talking to guys and they start pulling back, and then I start getting anxious, and then I just start overthinking, and when I share like my thoughts with them, I don't know if I'm making sense. They just start getting like irritated, like, oh, I'm not doing anything behind your back. Why don't you trust me? And they just get frustrated and they just quit, so to say.
Right. So, when you said sharing thoughts, what thoughts are you sharing?
Like just telling them like I think they're doing something behind my back. Say for instance, like you know how you get when you first start talking to someone, you guys talk a lot, you're always on the phone, you text back and forth, and then the communication just slows down and the text messages take forever and stuff. I understand people are busy, yes, I do understand, but it's just like there's a difference in how we talked before and later in the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do you notice the men you date start to pull back?
Usually maybe after sex.
Right. And these two
Yeah.
situationships you were in, how did you meet them?
One was at church and then the other one was at work.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you say you've been dating the current guy for 4 months?
I'm going on 3 months
Going on
next
3 months.
month.
Okay. Have y'all slept together yet?
No.
There was a little hesitation there. You sure?
No, we've made out, but not. We haven't had sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Are you holding back? Has he not tried, or what's the situation?
Oh, trust me, he's tried, but I'm trying to hold back because I'm thinking maybe giving it up too easy, then they pull back. So I'm trying to hold off for now. But it's like I don't know. I don't trust men. Like his Instagram. Okay, this is the reason why I don't trust him. Like he follows a bunch of women on Instagram and he's always liking pictures of other women. Like each time I scroll down like my timeline, you know how you have suggestions of people to follow?
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly the women that he follows and he's liking their pictures. And these are not like, you know, decent pictures. It's like they're in bikinis, they're showing their back and stuff like that. So that
Right.
I don't trust him because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you went through the following to see who he was following?
I kind of did. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
did.
get it. I get it. It's not the best decision to make. It just opens up a can of worms and makes you read into it. But I get not liking it. It's just also there's a lot of women who have done that and have come to a false conclusion who I've talked to on this live and thought that the guy was doing something he wasn't doing and they hurt the connection because of it, right?
Yeah.
So where do you feel like your trust issues came from? Like you say you have trust issues. Where's like the origin point?
From my first relationship, my ex always, he cheated on me with different girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you meet him?
He was a family friend. Yeah.
Okay. At least you're meeting these guys the right way. I haven't heard one dating app, one Facebook dating. It's like you're meeting them through people. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get
I've
it.
tried dating apps, but no, they're not for me. I deleted those apps. No.
So when you said that these guys historically have pulled back after you slept with them, how quickly did you sleep with them?
I usually wait till like maybe a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the ex that cheated on you, that was the one that you had in like 2022?
No. The one in 2020, no. That was the one that cheated on me was my first boyfriend ever. I think I was like 18.
And that's when you started being more anxious?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, what you're observing is a real phenomenon, but there's also like an interplay that happens, right? So the first thing is, do a lot of men like lie to women in order to sleep with them and then create distance immediately afterwards? Yes. Very true. You know what's also true? When anxiously attached women sleep with you, they become a lot. They become a lot. They become a lot. The anxious woman changes just as much as she perceives the man has changed. Right?
Yeah.
It's draining. It's extremely draining, right? And having to constantly reassure is draining.
Yeah.
So it may not always be this person didn't have pure intentions. It may be it just won't fun no more because of the draining nature of the connection. I'm not saying that's what you did because you haven't said anything to suggest that, but I do know the patterns of like anxiously attached people in general. And when the anxious woman opens up to you like that, she like 10x's, right? So the real problem here is going to be the anxiety, because look at how you're playing this. If your assumption is, oh, if he sleeps with me, he'll leave, then you delaying the act of sleeping with you, that's not really, it's not a solution.
Yeah.
If he's just going to leave anyway, then delaying it is no solution. It just kind of causes you to become more attached because you're still dating, right?
Yeah.
So the main problem here, because you haven't said that these men have treated you wrong or anything like that, so I can't say that you're choosing incorrectly. I think my gut here leans toward your behavior is probably taking some connections and then overloading it to the point to where it breaks. Not meaning that it's all on you, but you could also you combine that with like dealing with a man who doesn't have the tools to deal with what you're saying or to engage you in the exact way that you need to be engaged. It just causes like a clusterfuck of a situation. So I don't know if you heard the previous caller, But like she's someone with anxious attachment who is navigating it well, right? So how do you navigate it well? First one is you have to get around this idea of being so hyper fixating on whether or not this person is going to cheat on you. Ultimately, that's not something you can control. Your job is not to find the perfect individual that you can trust who won't cheat on you, because that individual doesn't exist. Anybody can cheat on you.
True.
Even if they're showing up in the most perfect way. You slap 10 years on it, they could cheat on you, right? So you don't approach it from that perspective of like, I need to choose someone who absolutely won't cheat on me. It's more so you build your own self up and you put the trust in yourself and your higher power, if you have one, that no matter what happens within this connection, you can handle it. And
Yeah.
you'll learn whatever lesson this connection teaches you, because that's the purpose of these relationships, is for us to grow. Yes, you can be happy in the relationships and all that kind of stuff, right? But the purpose is growth. When you look at it as growth, it doesn't matter if it's a positive experience or a negative experience. Growth is still occurring. Maz, can we timestamp that? That was good. We look at it as growth. It doesn't matter if it's a positive experience or a negative experience. Growth occurs in each one of those. Okay? Because you're learning things. You're gaining experience, right? That's the purpose. When you look at
Yes.
that as being the purpose of the relationship, it's not as a scary thing, right? You're not setting yourself up for failure. If you look at it as like, this needs to be my source of happiness, you're going to let yourself down, because that's not the purpose of it, right? So also with anxious attachment, you are also making the person you're with your everything.
True. Yeah,
Okay.
I do it a lot.
You're making the person that you're with your everything. And that's because you don't have a strong sense of self. So you have to spend some time with yourself to know who you are outside of a connection. So many women who I talk to, men too, right? But in a different way. With men, it's more so with accomplishments. With women, it's more so with like relational matters. They don't know who they are outside of a romantic connection, right? They don't have a sense of self. If I ask them who they are, they start describing themselves through the eyes of another person. They'll say, I'm a mother, or I do this for work, or I'm a daughter, or, I'm an auntie, right? It's always through like another person's eyes. And I'm like, well, take all those people off the table. None of them exist. Who are you? And it's like, that's when they don't have answers for that. They don't know how to answer that question. And when you don't have a strong sense of self, you don't really know what fills up your tank, what makes you happy. You don't know what you can do to make you proud of yourself, right?
Right.
You're looking at other people to pour into your tank because you don't know how to pour into your own tank. Because to do that would need you the first thing that's required is you knowing who you are, right? So you have to get clarity on who you are outside of the relationships you have, both romantic and platonic. And you need to start making your life bigger. When you make your life bigger, where there's other people you love, where there's other hobbies you're engaging in, other activities and other domains that add meaning to your life outside of a relationship, you stop putting so much pressure on the relationship itself. And when you stop putting so much pressure on the relationship tends to not break because the pressure has reduced, right?
Okay.
So you have to take all that energy that you're putting into the relationship, into this romantic connection, and take some of it and start building out a life that offers meaning. Because right now, your only source of meaning is the relationship. And that's too much for any one person. Nobody is equipped to be your only source of happiness.
All right. I hear you.
It takes work, but this is the way to get out of it, love. Like, this is the way to finally heal it, so that once you start doing this, the good thing is you only have to do this work once. You do it one time. You dig the well one time and you can drink from it from years.
Okay. And okay, so as far as the Instagram post, I was going to bring it up,
that I'm like, okay, it's too early. We're just talking. But it bothers me. So would you suggest I bring it up now or later?
What is the goal of bringing it up?
It just doesn't sit well with me. Like, I don't want. I just feel like it's embarrassing, you know? You say you're with someone and they're out there just liking pictures of other women.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably in their DMs as well. I'm just thinking, I'm just assuming if he can like their pictures like that, he's probably in their DMs as well. And some of his women, they don't even follow him back or anything, but he's always in their pictures.
Right. I get it.
Like,
Let me tell you, like, there's a couple of things going on here. One, y'all aren't in a committed relationship, so you don't really have a leg to stand on.
okay.
You're already going to come across as too much. Even if you are right, that's how he's going to receive it, because it's like, what do you mean? You're going through my likes, and we're not even in a relationship. He's like, if you're doing this already, you're definitely going to be annoying if we get together. Right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I understand completely the whole liking thing. I get it, right? It's annoying. I don't do it because I know it's annoying, right?
Wow.
But you have to be able to look at this from the perspective of when it's a red flag and when it's just behavior that's not really that, I won't say harmless, but not as big of a deal as you're making it out to be. Here's what I mean. If a guy's liking pictures of his ex or liking pictures of women who he knows and they're like sexually provocative pictures, that's a signal. That's a signal, right? That's something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would advise not looking at likes anyway. You want to know what helps me to not deal with this? Because I lean anxious, right? That's how I can talk to y'all with such clarity. My belief is if you're doing something I don't want you to do, God's going to let me know. That's my belief. Because it's happened. It's happened before. So it's like, I don't have to micromanage the connection. I'm going to trust you're doing what you say you were doing. And then if you're doing something outside of that, I'm just going to magically find out about it. Because of the intimacy I have with God, right? He's just going to let me know. So I don't have to worry about it. It's just, it's load off my back. You know what I mean? Because I already know it's going to get handled, right? So I don't have to go do any kind of investigative journalism, looking through the likes, looking through the followers, because it's a waste of energy. I'd rather focus that same energy to build my life like I told you to do, right? So that's the real solution here. But you've already done it now, so let me give you a little bit more information. If you saw something like that, that would be more of a signal, right? And if you did see something like that, there's no need to even vocalize it because you're not going to stop somebody from cheating because you told them not to cheat. If his intentions were to cheat, you think you telling him not to like her photos is going to make him not cheat now? No. So if you did see something like that, you probably would be better off just leaving. Now, the second type of liking photos is like the men liking photos of Instagram models. This, when you actually, if you could see how those likes occur, it would lessen your anxiety a bit because you would see that he's liking and just scrolling. It's almost like a reflexive response. He's not thinking into it. Men are just a little bit more visual. So he's scrolling, he's liking that, moving, liking that, moving, liking that, moving. And Instagram is so cold with it. You like one of those photos, your feed is full of it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the photo, if you hover on it long enough, Instagram knows. And it will start pushing more of those like pictures onto your feed. So though what you're describing is harmless. It's annoying. I get why it bothers you, but it doesn't connect to your fear. You see the difference? It's annoying. You can argue it shouldn't be done, but it doesn't mean X. It doesn't mean he is now going to cheat. That's not what that means. If you saw him liking the ex's photo, if you saw him, he has a female friend and she's posts provocative pictures and he's liking that, claiming that he's supporting her, yeah, that's probably more of a signal than him liking Brittany Renner's twerking video. Okay.
Okay.
All right, love. Well, hopefully you got some value there.
Okay. So should I pull back or just go with the flow?
Pull back as in what?
Like, so I was talking to my friend today, and she was like, she feels like I'm into him more than he's into me, and I need to pull back,
Okay.
like text him less, and I don't want to do that because I like him. Like when he texts me, I want to reply and I want to find out how his day is going and stuff like that, you know. But she's like, oh no, just pull back, like don't text him one day, and like I don't have time for those type of games, you know.
Right. You should do everything that I just told you to do.
Okay.
Right. You're not. Are you new here? How long have you been watching me for any period of time?
I do watch you from my other account. This is like
Okay.
my incognito account.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're weighing all the advice you're given equally.
Okay.
I'm not equal to your friend. Your friend does not know what she's talking about.
Alright.
So everything I just told you is the deeper things that are going to impact your life to beyond this relationship. What I just told you is going to impact your life to a greater degree beyond this relationship for the rest of your life. Think about that. Get out of the anxious mode right now. Stop thinking about this relationship. Think big. Think about your whole life. Everything I just told you is going to help you with everything for the rest of your life, as long as you're on the planet. So that's what I just gave you. Your immediate question is like, well, my friend told me to pull back for this particular guy. That's a nonsense type of even focus. Right? It's not important. It's not important because then we're playing like these little tit for tat games. There's no need to pull back. There are times when that is necessary. That ain't your problem though, because that blends into your anxious attachment, because anxious people tend to be inherently manipulative. Anxious people tend to play games to get, you ever heard of protest behavior? They tend to play games to get what they want. That's why when people act like avoidant people are these big bad wolves, I'm like, anxious people are no walk in the park. They're very toxic in their own way.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's no need to pull back. There's also no need to monitor his account. There's no need to do any of that kind of stuff. All this energy, to summarize everything that I just said, stop putting so much energy and focus into this relationship and put it on yourself and the life that you're building for yourself. That makes you more attractive, and it increases the likelihood that this relationship and future relationships that are a good fit will work out. Okay?
Okay. All right.
All right, dear. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
All right. Thank you so very much.
No problem,
I appreciate it.
You take care. Maz, can
All
you
right.
take her down, please? Because I can't take anyone down. And anyone who needs coaching, 1 hour coaching sessions, it comes with 2 weeks of DM support. You're going to hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside of the dialog box. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation, and if I can help you, I will send you a link where you can book your call. Okay? We go a lot deeper than we go on these lives. You see the advice I just gave on the woman I just spoke to. That's a 15-minute conversation. The hour conversation, we go a lot deeper, so we can help you like elevate beyond what I can do on these lives. All right? Okay, who do we got next? Hello.
Am I on?
You are. What's going on?
I didn't mean to come up.
Uh-oh.
I'm so
Uh-oh.
sorry.
You here now. What's happening?
Nothing. I don't want to be up there.
Okay, no worries, Lo. We'll take you down. Miles, can we get her down, please?
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right, they're coming in a minute, love. Lucina, appreciate you, CC. Oh no, stay a while. Lucina, are you there? Lucina. Lucina or Lucina? Okay, can we get Lucina down? I don't think she's there. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Be on standby, mods. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Good morning.
What can I do for you?
I'm doing fine. I'm Assurance from Cameroon.
Excuse me?
Okay, my question goes this way, like, why do I...
Why do you what?
Hello.
Yeah.
My question goes this way, like, why do I, like, how do I stop myself from falling in love? Like, every time I try to, I always get up, like, I end up getting hurt, and like I always attract the wrong people. I don't know if this is bad luck, or maybe there's something that I'm doing that is actually wrong that I don't know.
Okay. So give me specifics. How does that apply to like your last relationship?
To my last relationship, like nobody takes me serious. My relationship never crosses 3 months. Yeah, I give in all, like I give in the best, but I still receive nothing.
I think your connection is bad, love. Could you keep coming in and out? Is there something you can do on your end? All right, Maz. Let's take her down until her connection improves. Appreciate you, CC. All right, hello. What do we got next? Mahiz, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself. All right, going once, going twice. All right, let's get Sandman out here. Appreciate you, CC. Clinky. Let's give Clinkly a second. Clinky, you there?
Yeah, I was just dating.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to ask just a general question, like if you're in a relationship, is it bad that I mean, I am okay with a man being vulnerable, but there are times when it's like I feel like it's just too much for me. At times, like the crying and weeping, do you think is bad?
The crying and weeping. Who are you dating?
Yeah.
Who's weeping? Why are these multiple guys are weeping or just one?
Multiple, I guess.
Why are they?
It'll be an old relationship. I would say, like, I thought about. I was like, am I just being an a-hole for just sometimes not really like into like the crying stuff all the time?
Who? Okay, so why are so many men crying around you? What's going on?
Nothing.
I don't know. It sounds like you a bully. What's happening, Clinky?
No, I'm not a bully. It's just like, I guess, I mean, if they did something wrong and I say I want to leave, and they start crying and begging, so it's just like.
Oh, you're leaving them, and then they
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem then? You're already leaving them.
I'm just saying, like, if sometimes it's not even like I want to leave. Sometimes it's just like, I didn't do anything. I was saying what I'm saying, but I didn't do anything. But they just like crying. That's what I'm saying. Is it or being vulnerable with me? I don't know if I'm coming.
Now you're confusing me now. Are they crying specifically when you say you're going to leave, or are they also
Yes,
crying?
and that or like being vulnerable with something that happened. And there are times where I'm just like, like
Okay, real
it's
quick.
just too much.
Are the tears only within the context of you leaving?
No.
Okay.
Not only when I'm leaving, but also like when they're being vulnerable with some things.
Give me some.
Like maybe
Give me some.
something happened in their past and
Give,
they're scared of that
give
to
me some.
happen again.
All right. Give me some examples.
Like let's say uh like maybe their ex did them dirty and they fear that and they're crying because they went through like a trauma back in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like them crying sometimes just I don't get it. I don't want to I don't know what to do in that situation. Like I will understand it, but it's like the crying is just too much for me.
Right. So how are these conversations even coming up?
What do you mean?
Like, how are we even getting to this place where they're being that vulnerable? How are these conversations
I
coming up?
mean, like, sometimes you can have a deep talks with your partner and then it gets to a point like you go deeper and deeper and it gets to a point they start talking about things that hurt them, which is healthy. But sometimes like when they start crying, it's like I just don't feel it. I don't feel anything.
What part are you playing in that conversation?
I mean, just listening and being there, listen to your partner whilst they're being vulnerable.
Are you
But
asking them questions for them to reveal the vulnerability?
yes,
Like what? What questions are you asking?
like, what went wrong and what happened, like those type of questions. And they start talking more and more and more. So,
Okay. Well, you probably should stop asking those questions. Then you're not ready for the answer, beloved.
sorry.
I said you probably should stop asking those questions if you're not ready for those answers.
No, it's not. I'm not ready for the answers. I'm just not ready, like, prepared for them crying because I feel like it's just too much. That's why it's the crying part for me.
How many times has this happened? Like with how many men?
The 4?
4 men. How are you finding these men?
How do I what?
How are you finding these men?
I mean, just maybe meeting outside, going out to parties
Okay.
sometimes. These
What?
men I've been in relationships with.
Okay. And what attracted you to them?
I guess, first attraction, like when I see them, they talk to me, I would like them, I guess.
How old are you?
23.
Something's not adding up.
What?
When you're saying crying, or you mean literal tears are coming from their eyes?
Yes, that.
And this
I
happened
just,
with 4
I'm
different
like,
men across how many years? This has happened with 4 different men across how many years?
maybe 7.
So since you were 16 years old?
I guess, yeah.
I need you to be certain with your answers. You're saying a lot of I guess.
Yeah.
All right, love it. I'm starting to think you're trolling now because this doesn't make any sense.
I'm not trolling. I swear I'm not. I'm not trolling.
Men don't cry that much. For you to say you've been 4 men just crying randomly because you asked them what happened, either you are really digging into their trauma and really trying to figure out what scarred them, or you're trolling. One of the two things are happening.
No, I'm not trolling. That's why I want to know, because I'm like, am I like the a-hole to like ask those questions and they're crying, or like when they do something and I just be like, okay, I'm just gonna break up and leave, and they start crying. So I'm like, am I the a-hole for that? Because I don't.
Yeah, you are the a-hole for that. Because like, why are you digging into their past with such detail if you're not ready to handle the vulnerability that comes with it?
It's not like I'm being how do I say this? It's not like in that moment I'm being like, oh, why are you crying? No. It's more like I don't really feel
No,
like,
but
I
you
can understand in
but
that situation.
but you know that you don't like that. So if you don't like that, then why have you repeated it 4 different times?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that, right? If you're telling me that you don't like vulnerability, but then you're asking them to be vulnerable with you, you sound like a masochist.
No, it's not like I don't like vulnerability. It's like when they start crying too much. It's not just like shedding a tear. It's like weeping. That's what I'm saying. Like crying too much, and it's just like at that point, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There's only 3 possibilities here. Either you're trolling, like I said, or you are really trying to get to whatever their sore spot is, or you're attracted to very sensitive men. That's why I asked you what attracted you to them. So maybe something about sensitive men that you're very attracted to. Maybe you like a man who's super emotionally intelligent. Maybe you like very feminine men. Men who dress flamboyantly and they're very feminine. They're like one of the girls, but they're also one of the guys. They'll probably cry a bit. They don't have any kind of like masculine, like the whole masculine conditioning that tells them not to do so. Those are the only three possibilities, though. So pick one. Either you're trolling, which a lot of chat thinks you are, or you're attracted to men,
I'm trolling.
or you're because the story just doesn't make sense. Or and like even using examples of when you were 16 years old is like you're 23 now. It's not even. Why are we using 16 year
No,
olds?
maybe I can't explain myself properly for you to understand, but I'm not trolling. I'm just saying, like, being in a relationship, not all the relationships I've been with, but like I was saying, those four, it was like, I don't know why they cry like that. So I just wanted to know like get an answer or tell someone like
Yeah,
you
so
and
so
get a different
so
perspective.
the thing is, no other woman in the chat has had this experience. They may have had like one guy, and these were talking about women in their 30s and 40s and 50s. Also,
Mhm.
they ain't never had this experience like multiple men are just boo-hooing all the time. They may have had one guy who did that, right? But certainly not this many in this short of a time. So you're in a very unusual situation,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. So
Right.
I mean,
So that's why I'm not saying you're trolling. What I'm saying is that's a possibility because people do troll. So either you're trolling, or if you're not trolling, then you are selecting for men who are sensitive like this. I don't know if you like alternative men, men who go out wearing like, mesh see-through tops and dangly earrings at nighttime, right? I don't know if you like those type of guys. They'll probably cry a little bit more. Or you're really asking a whole bunch of questions, really trying to get to whatever. I don't know if you took psychology in school and you're testing your skills out on these guys and you want to really get to the nitty gritty of where their pain was. And then you kind of unlock that well of emotion
I
within
mean,
them.
I do ask really good questions. Like,
Okay.
if I'm talking to you, I do want to know all. I just don't want you to give me half an answer, and I'll be wondering the rest.
Okay.
So
Well, but
probably
people,
that is it.
but people also aren't like, this isn't anatomy. You're not here to psychologically dissect them.
But can't you not dissect your partner? Like,
You don't, not if you can't handle it. Certainly not if you can't handle it. You can't handle it. That's what you told me. You can't handle it. So if you can't, this is like you're basically being like a therapist and saying like, I don't know why my clients are crying when I ask them about their childhood trauma. Okay, well, you're in the wrong profession because that's what you're going to get. So you're having the wrong conversations for someone who doesn't have the capacity to hold emotional space.
I think I can, but like I said, I mean, that's just how I feel sometimes. The too much crying. I mean, I'm a sensitive person too, but like I just feel like sometimes it can be too overwhelming if you don't know what to do in that moment when somebody's just boo-hoo crying.
Yeah, well, you
like,
just stop. This is a very simple solution, love. Just stop asking such deep questions. Just stop trying to figure out their trauma. Ask
But
them
how
what
do
they're.
you know? How do you know you're in love with your partner if you don't ask those questions, like to get to know
Why
them?
do I need to know that you were touched as a child to be in love with you?
What?
Talking about traumas here. That's a type of trauma.
Yeah.
So why do I need to know that to be in love with you? I can't love you without knowing that.
I mean, I feel like there are questions there are talks that you need to have with your partner to get to know them more.
No, you like to figure people out. That's what it sounds like. This is fun for you. You probably were good at it. But you like to figure people out. This ain't got nothing to do with loving them. This is something that you enjoy. You just like figuring people out. This isn't about like, oh, I love you, you're my partner. This is like, nope, people who are around, I get curious and I want to know all about them.
But that you think is also the right thing to do when you're in a relationship trying to
No,
figure
that's
out
your way to
who your partner
that's
is?
your way to rationalize it. No. If you can't handle it, the answer is no. You can't handle it. That's the whole purpose of this call, is that you can't. I can handle someone crying to me. You can't. So stop making them cry. That's it.
Okay.
Or develop the capacity to handle it. Like there's no either or. Like those are the two options. Either stop doing the shit that makes them cry, or be okay with them crying. You pick.
Because I don't know, I just felt like I was a bit insensitive sometimes.
I would agree. So let's work on that. Let's start using that skill you have on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, let's analyze yourself. Why are you so intrigued by people's trauma? Why are you not asking about their happiest childhood memory? That's a question,
I do
right?
actually.
Okay, well let's use that on you and figure out why you can't handle people crying, which is a very natural emotion. Let's do that. Let's use that same ability. This is the thing with people who like do these psychological reads. They like to do it on other people. They don't like doing it on themselves. So like we got to do it on ourselves and figure out our own shit, right? And then maybe then you'll be able to develop the capacity to handle other people. But I do wish you the best, love. We got to keep going.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
take care. Maya, are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
All right. So I can definitely say that I'm struggling between the friendship phase leading into relationship with the confusion and not knowing if it's leading into a relationship, because in the past I've been, quick to jump into relationships without being friends, and I recently just, cut off a situationship that I actually thought was getting somewhere. And I just feel like I don't know if I'm not being patient enough, or if this is like conversations that I need to have from the jump, like, hey, are we going to be friends so we can be in a relationship? Or, I'm trying to figure out how do I balance that.
Wait, so you're saying that you're having a problem from like transitioning from like just dating to being in a relationship? You keep end up in situationship?
Yeah, it just feels like, now that I'm not trying to be so quick to be in a relationship, it's kind of hard to tell if people, well, no, I wouldn't say people. I would just say like the last, situationship, I guess you would say, that I just had to cut off. We were in a friendship that I thought was leading to a relationship.
How was the friendship leading to a relationship? What made you think that?
We both found each other attractive, and we were, on the phone a lot, getting to know each other more. So I kind of thought, we would eventually get into a relationship, but I feel like that's my problem with not knowing how far guys are willing to go.
How did you meet that guy?
I knew him when I was a teenager, and we kind of like rekindled, and I kind of kept in contact with him over the years.
Okay, and how did things become romantic?
Well, it didn't necessarily get romantic. I ended up going to a birthday dinner of his when that was like the first time I seen him in a while. So since that birthday dinner last year, he'd reach out more, and we'll be on the phone, texting, this and that. But we never seen each other after the birthday dinner. So I was kind of like, waiting around to see what he was going to plan. I wasn't trying to rush into getting into a relationship, but I also was like, okay, we are getting to know each other again. I want to be in a friendship. I want to hang out, but kind of just felt like he was, more quick to just call me late night and be on the phone for a couple hours rather than planning a day that we go get coffee or go on a hike.
How do you know he was attracted to you?
He told me over the phone.
Okay. And how long did you talk to him after knowing that?
Like 7 months ish.
Okay. Did y'all sleep together?
No. I didn't see him after his birthday dinner.
Y'all talking on the phone for 7 months?
Yeah, just texting back and forth and being on the phone.
How frequently did y'all like talk on the phone?
Well, when it was consistent, I'd say like maybe every other night. I'm not gonna lie, there was times he did go ghost, and then I, still talk to him because he was dealing with some stuff, I could admit. And I was kind of being patient, like, okay, I know he has this, and that going on. Let's see if things get better. Oh, you have a job now. Oh, this, and that. So I was kind of waiting around a little bit to see if things were going to get better for him. And I was being patient. When he didn't respond, I wasn't blowing up his phone and stuff like that.
You were being very patient. 7 months.
I know.
You need a prize. Okay.
Only because there's a sad thing that he went through. That's why I was like, okay, let me give him some grace for that. But I feel like I was being too patient, and I feel like he definitely played with my time, and he's blocked now. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. I think I unblocked him from my phone number just in case he wants to reach out. But on social media, I do have him still blocked.
Okay. Are y'all like long distance?
No, we're in the same area code.
Okay, yeah, there's no excuse for that. Okay. So this is the only situation you've had where it's like been a situationship that hasn't transitioned to any kind of like, not even a
Yeah.
situationship. This is just still friendship territory, if you ask me.
Exactly, because we didn't sleep together. We didn't, have any romantic ties like that. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to go about this whole, like I said, friendship first and foremost.
Why are
And
we
today,
even,
'cause
why are we doing friendship first?
because I jumped into many relationships thinking like, oh, I knew him from high school, this, and that. Like, we rekindled, we're in a relationship. And it's like, I truly understand why it's so important to be friends with somebody, because you will literally get to know all aspects of them. And you don't have to be with somebody. You can still be friends with somebody and literally not be with them and realize like, oh, I don't think me and this person will go together because you were friends with them.
Yeah, I don't follow the logic. Why can't you just date them and then figure them out?
Like straight up dating?
Yes, not relationship, but you get to know them in the romantic context.
But then what's the fine line between dating and being friends though? Because I'm 23 years old and it feels like when you're quote unquote dating, or they say talking, y'all pretty much do everything, boyfriend and girlfriends do and don't even have the title.
You don't have to. But friendships, there's no kind of like romantic pretense.
And that's what I want. I don't want nothing romantic. So like start
Why?
off. I want to be friends.
Why?
Because I just feel like they get what they want without having to make that title be known. I don't know. I just don't want to give a guy an access like that again.
Okay. But you're trying to reinvent the wheel though. You know how they used to do this? They would abstain until marriage.
You said stay with them until marriage?
They would abstain, meaning they wouldn't sleep with the person until marriage. You figured out a whole new way to go about it. We'll be friends first, and then it ain't solving the same issue. It doesn't solve the problem. If you're saying, okay, guys get what they want, and then they don't put a title on it, how is adding another step to the process solving the problem?
Because it draws back the romantic stuff. Even if it's not like we're sleeping together, they're still trying to, kiss or, waste your time being on the phone at night.
Okay, but I need you to think this through, love. What are you, why would I do that? Why would I be friends with you?
So you can get to know me.
No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That works for a guy who's thirsty, who doesn't have any options. That's not how this works, though. Why would I be friends with you? What do I gain?
You gain seeing before you get romantically involved.
Why would I do that if other women would just date me?
I don't get why other women would want to date somebody so
That's where the logic breaks down. Because now you exited reality and start coming up with your own rules. Most women do that. So we can't say I don't know why they would do it. That's not the conversation. We got to be grounded in reality, right? So the world that we live in, people date. You can't say, I don't know why people do that. I prefer to do things this way. You're free to do things that way, but you also have to accept that most people are not going to get in the type of program. Nobody with options who dates in the real way is going to just accept friendship first in order to date you. You may be a phenomenal person. I'm not questioning that. You may be a great person to be in a relationship with. The thing is, I don't know that because I don't know you. So since I don't know you, I'm judging this off of, I don't know her at all. She requires friendship first. Becky doesn't. Hello, Becky. Nice to meet you. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how dope you are. I don't know you. So there's no benefit of being friends with you from my perspective. You have to get out of knowing yourself and look at yourself from the eyes of someone who doesn't know anything about you. Why would they agree to that?
Well, I guess I don't know how to date then.
Okay, that's fine. So what are you trying to avoid when it comes to dating? Let's think it through. Let's walk through it. I'm trying to help you come up with a way that works for you.
I'm really trying to avoid, like how I said, you date and you end up doing, even if you're not sleeping with them, you still end up doing all this stuff without the title. And it's just like, dang, if
Okay.
we don't make it to the point where we are actually in a relationship, we did all this stuff
Okay, so tell
too
me
soon.
what stuff are you doing?
Let's say like Valentine's Day gifts
Okay.
for birthdays, posting each other. That sounds so childish, I know. But I'm just saying, like, all that comes before being in a committed relationship. And I'm like trying to avoid that. Like, no, please.
Who said you have to do any of that stuff?
So then what do you do when you're dating?
You just date. When you say you're dating, you're entering into there's a subtext with your connection. Meaning the dating is the meaning to why we're getting together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're trying to avoid just being in a romantic connection with somebody who ultimately is not willing to commit to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're avoiding. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
understood. So you don't really have a problem with like Valentine's Day or anything like that. You just don't want to run the risk of doing that and the person doesn't actually commit to you.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. So when's the last time that occurred? Not with this friend because he doesn't count because y'all didn't date at all. So when's the last time that happened to you? When was the last time you were in a situationship?
Well, I was in a relationship last year that ended. It was like a 2-year relationship.
Okay.
But since then, and then plus that guy, there hasn't been like no dating, quote unquote.
There hasn't been any dating since your last how many years ago was the last relationship?
Last year. So about a year now.
Okay. So you haven't really been in any situationships.
No.
So why are you proactively trying to avoid them, given that you've not been in one?
Because I feel like that's okay. So I can give you a timeline.
Mhm.
Last relationship ended in May, and then June is when I went on the birthday dinner, and then talking here and there from him. So I feel like the way that kind of started out, it didn't feel like we were quote unquote dating because I was kind of being patient, waiting around to see how often we could get together and do certain things to see if we're even compatible. So I'm just wondering, when I am finally ready to be dating again or like getting in a relationship, how do I go about it without getting my time wasted? Because like how I said, that guy was like telling me how he was attracted to me.
Yeah, you were looking at words, not behavior.
Yeah.
So you don't have like those long string of like being in situationships. You just were quote unquote patient for 7 months with somebody who wasn't serious about you.
Exactly. And
okay,
words did not match his behavior, and I kept on waiting.
When words don't match behavior, that's always a red flag. The behavior tells you the truth, not the words. So when someone tells you words, that's nice. You got to make sure the behavior backs that up. You can say you want to see me all day. When are you actually going to see me? Right? You waited. No, it's not. 7 months isn't grace, love. That's disrespecting yourself. That's not grace. Right? You give someone, especially in your own city, where you're in the same area code, where he can come and see you if you really wanted to, or plan a date if he wanted to. I say a week, 2 max. And 2's even pushing it before, like, what are we doing? All this talking on the phone. Here's how you should have played that. You're just not available for conversations anymore. Until it's face to face. That's it.
I think that's why I kind of left him unblocked on my phone number, because I kind of want to take back that control. Like, let's say if he does start calling again or texting, I'm just gonna ignore it.
No, you should leave him alone. Period. 7 months is he's not serious.
Yeah, that's.
I don't even get what he was getting from the situation. To be honest, I don't know one woman I would talk to for 7 months without like seeing her. I don't know one woman I would talk to for 7 months without seeing her. That's wild. So I definitely don't think he's serious. So yeah, that's not someone to focus on.
Yeah, I need to rewire my brain because in a way it was like.
But you see, you're very emotionally in the connection with him though, because you started to like him.
Yeah.
That's why you have to make decisions relatively quickly. The whole week or two solves this problem. It took months for you to start feeling strongly for him. I'm sure if it was just a conversation focused relationship. But giving him that grace and talking to him for months made you start to become emotionally connected into a fantasy that never was real. What you thought could come of it. So you saw potential and you were emotionally connected to that potential reality you saw. And he just let you down. And that hurt you. And now you're trying to avoid that pain again.
Exactly.
I get it. The way you do it is you put simple rules for yourself. One is you got a week or two, max, to ask me out. If you don't, then I'm moving on. You're not going to fall for someone in a week or two.
Right.
Right? So that's you make that one shift. That solves your problem.
Yeah,
And you can do that. You can do that without. Look at what we just did. We went from like, let's be friends first, and then we had a whole big step to just making a simple tweak, which is 1 or 2 weeks. If you don't ask me out, I'm going, and that solves most of your problem here.
And you know, like how you said, when it's like intentional and you're dating and you are staying like away from sex and stuff like that, then clearly there's a possibility that it can get further, because if you're quick to give it up, there's no telling. And I wanted to add one more thing about like that situation too. Like when it kind of came towards the end of our little talking or whatever, when I finally asked him, I was like, look, like, I'm not trying to keep pushing it, but just like, why haven't we really seen each other? Like, we can literally go meet up on a Saturday, let's go on a hike or something like that. And he pretty much tells me, I don't see the point of getting, well, because, you know, I was still in that whole friend situation. He was like, I don't see the point of trying to be friends if I would want to be in a relationship. And now that has me thinking about what you just said, because it's like, why would I want to be friends?
Right.
But he's still wasting my time.
Yeah, it's time waste. I don't know what he was getting from that. Maybe he just was bored. But it's like, I don't buy into the whole like if he wanted to, he would situation. But it does apply. It applies in this situation. It applies in situations where if a guy was interested in me, he would absolutely do this. It doesn't apply in situations where you're expecting him to be a mind reader. Like, oh, you like flowers and you expect him to get you flowers. It doesn't apply there, right? Because it wasn't communicated. But when it comes to like just scheduling a date with you, or like the creative just said, pursuing, men generally pursue. Men generally do not buy flowers. So if he wanted to, he would applies to what men generally do. Maz, let's timestamp that as well. That's a good one. If he wanted to, he would applies to what men generally do. Men generally pursue the women who they're interested in. So if he's not pursuing you, then he doesn't want to.
Dang.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you so much.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right. Again, if you want your 1 hour coaching call with 2 weeks of DM support, it's 2 weeks where you can send screenshots of texts, ask additional questions, get ongoing support with implementation. Hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside the dialog box. Shoot me a message. I will ask you about your situation. And if I can help you, I'll send you a link to book your call. Okay, this is for both men and women. All right. Both men and women. All right. Let's see who we got next. We're rolling today. We are rolling today. I don't really like the queue right now, to be honest with you. We're going to try, though. I'm not a flower person either. A lot of women don't like flowers. I don't really get flowers like that, to be honest with you. We're going to try, right? I never really dated anyone who was like, I want flowers. There's no one on y'all's end? Okay. I just tried to bring somebody on, but they dropped. So we'll see if we can wait for somebody else to come through. I want to buy a man flowers, see his reaction. Yeah, I will probably be shocked and appalled every once in a while for the right ones. Yeah, I just never done shit like that, to be honest with you. Not as a default. Me, I'm more so someone who I have like adaptive romance. So it's like, for me, it is what does the person like? And whatever they like is what I do. But it's like me, like I don't give a fuck about flowers, so I'm not just by default bringing you flowers. You see what I'm saying? Only thing I've dated a woman who like really. I think every woman likes flowers though. No, a lot of women in the chat just say they don't care for them. A lot of women like have a favorite flower, but some women light up with flowers. Other women are just like, oh, thank you, and they really don't give a fuck. Like they really couldn't care less. But you know, yeah, you like flowers, but I'm sure you like other things more. You know what I mean? I give you an example. My ex, like, she really always says she wanted to go on a picnic. There's a couple things. Her favorite animal was a giraffe, so I took her to a place where she could feed the giraffes. And then she liked picnic, so like I hired a picnic company to like make a picnic. That's how I show up. It's like, okay, what do you like? Okay, you like those things. All right, well then let me create an experience so that you get what you like. Not just some run of the mill like, oh, women, the TV says flowers, so I guess I'll get flowers. Like, some people don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, if she says she likes flowers, if a woman was like really like, I love flowers. Not like, oh, here's my favorite flower. But I can tell that they don't really care like that. I may get flowers, or I'll get you things with those flowers on them. I've done that before. I've gotten like things with the flowers on them, because I can tell you don't really like the flowers like that. I pay attention to what you put your own energy into. But yeah, if I was with someone who's like, I need all the flowers. I need all the flowers. Like, if I was doing someone like that, then yeah, I would get flowers. It's no big deal. Only time I saw the flowers on my engagement. Nice. It's another job, like to take care of the flowers. Edible arrangements. It's pricey, boy. Edible arrangements be pricey. Sunflowers and roses. I'm really good at like remembering people's favorite things. I wish I wasn't though, because I can still, women that I've dated, I can still remember. It's like a catalog of like what they're into. Like, why can I not? I want to delete that from my memory, but I can't. There's a girl I did, she said her favorite movie was Rocky. Oh, well, I can make something happen with that. I like giving gifts, like thoughtful gifts. I debated with my mother before. She was like, when people say they want a gift, you got to get them what they want. I'm like, I don't want to get people what they say they want for a gift. I don't like that. Because at that point, it's like we're just running each other's errands. You know what I mean? Like if it's Christmas or Valentine's Day or something like that, and you're telling me exactly what you want, and I got to tell you exactly what I want, and then what are we doing? We're just running errands at that point. I like to get you something you didn't know you wanted. That's what I like to do. I love that shit. I like to get you something you didn't even know you wanted, and then see you light up from it. It's like a little game. Like, okay, how well do I know this person? Do I know them well enough to get them something they didn't even know they wanted? Did you take her to Philly and let her run the steps? See, that would have been good, right? Taking her to Philly to run the steps. 100%. D Money, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up?
Chilling. What's happening?
Yeah, I was listening into the flower discussion. I figured I'd give a few examples of what I would do
Mm-hmm.
or how I'd game it. So for flowers, I usually don't. Well, I've never done it like first date, second date. It's too soon and you don't know them well enough. But usually I'll get it for them if I know they like them and the vibe's right. For the right people. Not everyone gets flowers from me. Very few people get flowers from me.
Right.
But for the right ones, like for example, there's this one girl I was dating I liked, and we were bantering a bit, and there was like, I forget what she said, but there was like this kind of goofy slogan her and her dad would say. So I started using it, and she's like, "That's trademark. I'm gonna have to fine you." So I was like, "Oh, what's the fine? What's the penalty here?" So she said, "Pink roses."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Wow, you're really twisting my arm here, but I'll see what I can do." And then like a date or two later, I would bring some pink roses to the date, and she'd light up, and she'd take pictures and send them to me weeks later and stuff. So
Right.
the energy's right in those situations. I do agree with the thoughtful gifts. I love putting together a nice little thoughtful gift. I think one of the ones I liked last year was I was talking to this girl, and she's fond of like music, and she liked, I guess she had a thing for like old-fashioned romance and stuff like that. And we were talking about music, and I told her, I was like, "I appreciate you put me on some of this music game. I was listening to it all day." And she's like, "Well, I'd like to hear some of your music. Maybe you could put a playlist together for me."
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I was like, why don't I do this old school? I knew she had the same car as my sister, which had a CD player in it. So instead of just putting together like a Spotify playlist, I actually put together like a burnt CD for her in her car with some of my tunes, and she loved the music I picked for her. And then I wrote on it like Danny's favorite music, part 1.
Right.
And that caught her attention. So on like the following date, she's like, "I noticed you put part 1. What do I need for like part 2? So then we kind of played a little bit of a cat and mouse game with the parts of the playlists and stuff. But I enjoy little gestures like that
Right.
build momentum in the connection, and that means something to them.
Right. Yeah, 100%, man. Especially when you time it appropriately. Gives a lot of safety. You got to time it right though, man, because that could scare them off too. Depending on the woman. Depends on the woman. It depends on the woman. It depends. It's not like all women, obviously. Some women that eat that shit up, but like,
Right.
definitely,
Right.
you're like
But
too.
the context helped a lot for those situations. I don't
Right.
just like give.
I get it. You said
Random.
you're not super thoughtful with everyone you date. It's like the people you're really into,
Right.
you have a strong connection with. I get it. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying it for the guys in the chat, not for you. I know you know how to time it appropriately. You don't want another guy being like second date. He's being super thoughtful,
hmm
and it's like it's a little too soon.
Yeah.
Let her kind of lean in like one at first. And then you do it, and it's like it lands better. You know what I mean? It's like the whole flowers thing, right? Like when guys saying they bring flowers to the first date, and I'm like, don't do it on the first date. I'm like, why? I'm like, because if you do it on the first date, it doesn't mean like women want to feel special. You do it on the first date. The only woman who's gonna feel special on the first date is a narcissistic one.
Yeah. Someone that likes being taken out. It's not actually trying to.
She's not even considering that you do this for other women.
Right.
It's not even a thought. You know, I've seen women who like they think they have like this moment where they're like when they get love bombed, they're like, yeah, of course I believe you love bombing me because why would you not want to love bomb me? I'm amazing. I'm like, no, beloved, you're delusional and narcissistic. Why would someone be in love with you from just meeting you?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just connects you.
I've never actually. Funny enough, I don't think I've ever met or dated a woman like that. Maybe I'm just not oriented around them or whatnot. I guess we kind of attract and choose certain people based on who we are.
It's an
but-
energetic thing, man, to it.
Yeah.
To this reality, there's an energetic thing to it. There's certain people I can like everything I talk about is on like the behavioral and psychological level, but there's like a spiritual, otherworldly, energetic level that isn't being addressed. The closest thing that I've done to addressing it is talking about soul level attraction. For people who don't know, I tell guys, especially guys who want to approach women, even applies digitally. I applied I applied digitally as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was like one woman on TikTok that I had talked to previously. This is why I talked to anybody else up here, and I told her like I was drawn to her, and that was true. I was very much drawn to her.
Yeah.
And that's happened. This happened on dating apps, and it also happens like in person. Danny is eating the world's largest Hershey bar right now. Apparently.
Oh, I'm packing my sandwiches for the week. Sorry, I was doing some meal prep. I'm listening.
But it's like they're gonna fall in two categories, right? It's like women who just stimulate your lust, where you look at them and you're like, oh, she got a fat ass, right? You look at them and it's like your only thought is I want to sleep with that, right?
Yeah.
And then there's women who it's like you're just interested, drawn to. It's like, what is it about this person? You may still want to do something physical with them, but it's not the forefront.
You're not just attracted, you like them as a person. There's like a resonance.
Well, this is before you even talk to them.
Yeah.
It's not even like after you talk to them. This is just, in my experience, these are the only women that I even talk to. Now, I don't even talk to you if I don't feel that way. If I look at you and I just want to smash, I'm 8 times out of 10, not going 8 times out of 10, not 10 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10. 6.5 times out of 10, not going to even start a discussion. Because that is my first indicator that this is not a real connection. There's no real possibility here. Because the first instinct I had was to sleep with you, right? So that's telling me that it's just lust. This is just my flesh, essentially, to use a biblical frame.
Right.
Whereas there's other women that I've seen, it's like, it doesn't start off like that. It starts like, like the first one is like, to these sounds, like, that's the lust one. And the second one is like, I go after the, I go after that. If I feel that, I'm going in that direction. And usually when I engage with those type of women, there's always some sort of connection there. There's always some sort of connection when I go after the right? Whether that's digital or in person, right? There's women I've met like, on dating, very few women on dating apps, but also like social media, like TikTok. Where like I'll see them, I'm like, and I'll engage them, and it's just natural chemistry. I recently was talking to a woman who I met, and it's like highest chemistry I've had in recent memory. Like the highest, it was a situation. It was like the highest chemistry, almost too good to be true type chemistry. But it's because
before you even engaged.
Say it again.
Like it's just the then you engaged and the chemistry followed through.
Right. It's this sixth sense. It's this other knowingness. It doesn't mean the situation is going to work out or anything. It doesn't mean that if you follow that instinct that it's automatically going to develop into like a relationship or a marriage or anything like that. I think that it does indicate to like there's some degree of resonance.
Yeah.
There's some degree of resonance there where it's like you don't even really need quote unquote game. Have you experienced that? This is what is I want to hear your thoughts on this, because my job as a coach is to convey certainty, right? Just from a marketing business perspective. I kind of shoot my business in the foot by putting out so much nuance. Because the average person doesn't want nuance. The average person wants to buy certainty. And I can give them certainty, but also acknowledge there's a lot of variables, right? Because I can't not acknowledge that. It goes against my morality, right? But the truth is, I'm gonna make a video about this. When I first got into this arena, before I became a coach and I was just learning this stuff myself, one part of frustration for me was understanding that this game was not a meritocracy. You think the more you know, the better you do. It doesn't always work like that. It's not like women don't choose the best guy.
Right.
They can choose, like some guys get confused with this. They're like, They may be in a relationship and the shorty like leaves them and goes with someone who on paper is worse than he is. He's like, him? What the fuck? He probably had that one thing that you were missing.
Right.
And because you were missing it, she valued it a lot. And now he scratches the itch. Now she's going with Buddy. That's a big word for Elmo. Meritocracy is like the best person. The cream rises to the top. Winner takes all. The best person for the job gets the job. This game, this dating and relationship stuff is not it's not a meritocracy. It's not like the more you develop, the better your outcomes.
Right.
I
think that's kind of an illusion a lot of people buy into when they talk about dating and relationship stuff.
Because that's what people like me sell. We have to sell that, right? If I was to go to a business coach and say I don't sell that, he would call me an idiot because he's like, you can't give all this nuance. They don't care. He said this actually makes them less likely to buy. Just tell them what they need to hear, and that's that you're certain.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And then you can give all the nuance on the back end, which is kind of how I'm shifting things now. It's like, all right, let me just pretend like it's this one way, and then when I get you on the back end, then I'll layer out the nuance. My content is very nuance heavy though. So it's like, I was making a video today and I said some nuance shit. I was like, well, this doesn't mean always it's going to, and I deleted it. Cause I'm like, I have to stop doing that. Put the nuance on the back end, front end, simplify the shit. Like these people who you see making content just to go off on a tangent, they know this nuance shit. They also know it don't convert. They know this shit isn't that black and white. They're like, it doesn't convert though, because the average person thinks in black and white.
Right.
And if you want to make money, you got to appeal to the average person. So, or rich people who also think black and white as well, mind you. So, just say what they need to hear. And then on the back end, give them the reality of it. And that's probably what the switch I'm going to make moving forward. But anyway, the reality is you can do everything right and kill the connection, and you can do everything wrong and keep it.
Right. Yeah, I think that's something I'm learning to surrender to. I think sometimes for me, part of me is very interested in this subject matter. I think there's a part of me subconsciously that kind of feels like if I have a strong understanding of things, I won't make as many mistakes or things won't go wrong, but that's just not true.
It's not.
I strongly agree this is not a meritocracy. You even argue like our society isn't much of a meritocracy.
Right.
You know, like the free market or anything, kind of a lot of people buy things based on their feelings. They date people based on their feelings. They hire and fire people and promote people based on their feelings and relationships with them.
Right.
It's a lot about appealing to what people think they have missing subconsciously and giving them that.
Right. 100%. That plays into like the stage model, right? The video I made today is like stage 2 woman. If you want her to feel safety, it needs to connect to where her wound is. Other forms of safety is not going to land. So if a woman was like cheated on in the past and she has that wound, like a lot of callers today have the experience being cheated on, right?
Right.
For her to feel safety, it's not going to be as simple as you being a protector and providing and leading. Those are nice. It doesn't land though, because the place where she feels most vulnerable is that cheating wound, that betrayal wound, right? So the way for her to feel safety is for you to engage in behaviors that directly tie into that and fill that void. What does that look like practically? To a woman who's been cheated on, consistency, grand gestures aren't going to do it. They don't land. Consistency lands. Doing what you say you're going to do lands. Right? Not just saying some shit and then not following through. That's going to signal to her that you just say things. You're not a man of your word. If you're not a man of your word, then you telling me you're not going to cheat on me does not mean you're not going to cheat on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So for someone like that, you got to know how to. That just shows like the depth of like the spark and safety model, because it's not like, oh, just randomly give all of these traits. It's like, no, know the person you're dealing with. Considering that you want to be serious with them, give them what they need. But even if you do give them what they need, it does not. This is the nuance again, right? This is what I shouldn't say. What I should say is just what I said in the video. Leave it at that. Like, give her what she needs and the relationship works, right? The reality is, you don't know what a person's capacity is. With some people, men and women both, they simply don't have the capacity. You can engage them perfectly. You can do everything right on paper. And because of their lack of capacity, they still are going to sabotage. They're still going to run. They still can't meet you.
Right. Exactly. To be like that. I don't see us as like mathematicians. I see us more as like meteorologists. Like we haven't.
That's a good analogy.
Science, but
yeah.
We're like predicting weather in North Carolina. You know, we're doing our best, but there's no promises that this will land. Like that's why I layered spark and safety a lot between like the different.
It's like
sparks.
just bring a jacket. I think it's gonna rain today, but just to be safe, bring a fucking jacket. You're not gonna regret bringing a jacket.
And change of clothes.
Exactly. Right. That's it, man. It's like even with the people I'm coaching right now, it's like I let them know, listen, I'm not promising you shit's gonna go this way because I'm not Professor Xavier. I can't mind control this motherfucker.
Right.
But I'm gonna give you your best play. This is your best play. And I can say every person I've helped, they've seen a change in behavior from the person they were dealing with. It may not lead to a relationship, but they did impact them. And what they did was they revealed that person's capacity.
Right. That's something I have to tell one of my clients. I learned this myself last year too, is like sometimes doing the right thing, like whether you're consistent, whether you're kind of following the spark and safety, it's not always meant to keep a person. It's meant to deepen your connection with the right people, and the wrong people will be pushed away naturally. Right. Almost like it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's a test in itself.
Right.
To see someone's capacity. And the only way you truly know is if you set kind of simple rules and guidelines for yourself on your own consistency and how you show up. Mm-hmm. You know, and the more consistent you are with yourself, the more clarity you're going to get in general with people, as opposed to kind of fumbling through your dating life and feeling your way through it too much. A little bit of structure goes a long way.
Yeah, I feel like with the spark and safety model, like the goal is ultimately to never think about it again.
Yeah.
The be yourself advice is both the best advice and the worst advice simultaneously. And it depends entirely on where the person is in their development.
Right. I think there's this, years ago, there was like this meme where it had like the Wojaks with the different faces on the bell curve of like knowledge on something. Like you get like the chill guy at the beginning, like, oh, I just have to do these things. And then the top, you get like the guy panicking because he's thinking about all these different factors on how something works. And it goes back to the chill guy.
It's the midwit. The midwit meme is one of the best memes of like the last decade. Yeah. Because it shows you how like low IQ people and high IQ people are right for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And the people in the middle of the bell curve overcomplicate shit. Do you know what? You know what the explanation of that is? Low IQ people they don't have a high enough IQ to conceptualize. The midwit meme it's a bell curve. Y'all know what the bell curve is? It's a distribution, right? So there's a small subset of people on the left side of the column, which are like low IQ people. Middle column is where most people are, where the bell curve like tops. And then on the right side is also a small subset of the population are high IQ. The meme depicts that people on the left side, like the low IQ people, and people on the right side come to very similar conclusions, but for different reasons. So you'll have like low IQ people say God is real. And then you'll have high IQ people say God is real. And then you have a lot of atheists in the middle of the bell curve being like, well, prove this, right? So the best way I've heard it explained is like this. Why do people who are low IQ and people who are high IQ come to the same conclusions? For different reasons. It's because low IQ people do not have the ability to conceptualize. It takes higher IQ to conceptualize, right? Mm-hmm. So they make all of their decisions based off of their experience. Right? Based off of their experience. G7 Blade is in the middle of the bell curve, apparently. You see him? That's midwit response. That was not a good example. Did you get the fucking point, G7? Did you get the point? Because a midwit will be like, I don't like the example. Fuck the example. What was the point of the example? Replace it with your own example. Midwit shit. Anyway, low IQ is experiential. I'm judging things off of my experience. Midwits will bypass their experience if they have a very thorough articulation of the situation. So they will bypass their own lived experience if somebody makes a compelling argument.
Okay.
High IQ people synthesize. They can conceptualize, so they read the books and the studies like the midwits do, but they cross-reference it with their own experience. And experience is king.
Right.
Right? The midwits don't use experience. You talk to people like this. Bro, I remember when I first got into coaching and I was testing the model out, and I joined communities in Raleigh where they were throwing events and stuff like that. And it was like a men's group, and it was full of like these very intellectual people. And I was there just trying to like inform these guys on how to date better. And I was always amazed by how I would make certain points, and the leader of the group would like, I think he kind of saw me as being threatening because he had ran it for months. I just showed up and was like giving a lot of value. Started trying to debate me. So I would say things like, oh, women generally prefer men who are in good shape, right? And he was like, well, how do you know women prefer men who are in good shape? I was like, is that obvious? He was like, well, what, have you dated all women? He was trying to hit me with a Socratic method or some shit. I don't know what he was doing. He was like, have you dated all women? I'm like, obviously I haven't. I dated your mother, but like outside of her, I've not dated all women, no. And he's like, well, how can you possibly say that women prefer men who are in better shape? I'm like, you can't extrapolate? He was like, no, I don't believe that. He was like an overweight dude, right?
Right.
I said, okay, genius. Let's use this. Would you agree that the romance novel industry is $1 trillion industry? He was like, yes, and it's $1 trillion industry because it's primarily read by women. He was like, yes, and it fulfills women's fantasies. He was like, yes. So the type of men that women see in those books are the type of men they kind of idealistically want. He was like, yes. So you think that the marketing, there's a vested interest in the romance novel industry to appeal to the fantasies of women. Yes? He was like, yes. I was like, why the fuck are every man on the cover in shape? Why are there no fat dudes on the romance covers? Why are there no Seth Rogans out there? You can't extrapolate. You need to study to tell you some shit that's obvious.
I have these kinds of conversations all the time with people that talk about crash diets.
Bro.
I feel like I've had this conversation like 12
Oh
times.
my
It's
God,
like
man.
It's like giving Patrick his wallet back. It's horrible.
People like that, I'd rather talk to like a idiot, bro. I hate fake smart people. That shit annoys the fuck. People who need to fucking study, they can't use their brain. Bro, there was a guy in the group who claimed to be a demisexual. You know what that is?
Is it those people that like say they're only attracted to people that like they have a strong mental connection with or something like
That's
that?
like a sapiosexual, like an intellectual connection.
Sapiosexual. Okay.
Demisexual is like, I don't feel any kind of sexual attraction to you at all unless I know you and fall for you as a person. Now, this was a guy who was very sickly. He had no game, wasn't attractive at all, like really cooked, really chopped. But he also was like had hella health issues, so he stayed in the house a lot. And I was like, oh, you just kind of adopted a worldview to cope with your reality. I know what the situation is. You're calling yourself a demisexual as a cope for the inability to secure a romantic connection, but I'm going to play your game, right? So I'm like, hell, you really don't have... One, I only hear women say that they're demisexuals, and it makes sense, right? But I only hear women. I don't really hear men say they're demisexuals. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, there seems to be no attractive men that are demisexuals. Why do you think that is? I didn't ask him that. I didn't want to offend him. But I'm thinking this in my mind. I was trying to find, how can I question this without offending him? Because I can't go the attractive men angle. I've never seen a handsome guy say he was demisexual. Why do you think that is? Well, that's only chopped guys who say they're demisexual. You think there's anything there? Right? So I asked him, I was like, so do you watch? So you're not attracted to anyone you don't personally know, right? You're not sexually attracted. He was like, yep, yes, indeed. Not attracted to anyone who I don't really personally know. I was like, you always been that way? He's like, yeah. I said, do you watch Korn? He's like, yeah. I said, huh. Do you know the Cornell Stars? So then he sent me an article on why like watching Korn doesn't go against any sexual. Oh, you just Google an article to think for no, that completely the premise is you are not sexually attracted to people who you don't know. So you're telling me if I took that Cornell star and had you have a conversation with her, you wouldn't be sexually attracted. But if you didn't meet her in the flesh and you just saw her on a video with her chest bouncing, you're magically sexually attracted. That doesn't make any sense. Fuck out of here. It's bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit going on.
Topium. He's just huffing it.
Anyway, I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, but
No, you're good.
no, that midwit meme is very, very good. I love that shit. I love it's like different examples of it. But yeah, I will say like bring us full circle that be yourself thing, right? People say be yourself, and it's typically bad advice because the self that you're being is really your conditioning. It's not you. That's why it's bad advice, because the person you're speaking to doesn't have a self to be. He's a mixture of all of his fears and his mother and daddy's voice in his ear and Disney movies that have combined to create who he thinks he is. And then he develops and starts to develop a stronger sense of self and gets to know who he really is. And when he gets to that point, now being yourself is a great thing to have because it acts as a filtering mechanism, right? Once you are truly yourself, you have a self to be. Now you should fully lean into that because it's going to filter for you. The people who leave are not going to be a good connection.
It gets almost natural. You hit that embodiment point of your being.
Right.
And that's when the magic really starts happening in your dating, social, just life in general.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to like tease it out. I've done it in my content a lot, like trying to explain the differences between like when be yourself is actually good advice and when it's not. It's just in a short form media, it's hard to kind of like tease out the nuance and something like that.
Right. I think I remember the half-wit meme I remember the most is one where like the one end of the curve, he's like just be a chill guy in a good hang. And then you get like the half-wit that's like push, pull, frame, blah, blah. He's like pulling his hair. And then you go back to the high end and he's just like be a chill guy in a good hang. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of comes back full circle with a different understanding, of course.
Right.
Everything.
I think you have to go through like that midwit thing as well. Mm-hmm. Right, you got to kind of go through that. I'm sure I was like a midwit in that. I'm sure we all midwits in some way, but I'm sure I went through that same thing where it's like your theoretical knowledge extends beyond your experience.
Yeah.
And then you get to a place where it's like you really hit synthesis.
Yeah, I think I started coming down the bell curve last year. I think things started to come together a bit better. I put more time into kind of like researching and understanding a lot about how all this stuff works. And I think once I found your content, I was like, because I was working on, before I even thought about getting into coaching, I was thinking about working on like workbooks and then using that approach to teaching what I've been learning. But then I saw your content and I was like, oh, I actually kind of align on a lot of this stuff. So I started listening more and then I popped into your streams. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's when I feel like I started to piece things together better. When I was able to bounce my ideas off of you and have someone that has a better experience of this stuff, kind of reflect what I need to learn.
Yeah, you just need someone to like to once you have someone that kind of unlocks a level of thinking, that's it. It's ball game. Mm-hmm. It's not even that the models themselves are super useful. It's just it just made something click.
Yeah. To
where now you can go ahead and start developing your own foothold, right? That's what my coach did for me. Like my coach, like he leans a lot more into like the woo woo shit. I saw he was doing a video on it was for people who purchase his course. His course is like $1,000 though, but it was people who purchased his course, and he had like a what was it on? It was on. I still have like the tab open actually. Forbidden Intimacy Deep Dive, and it was like on the bedroom, right? For like how to keep intimacy in the bedroom and how to go deeper into the bedroom. And he leaned so much into astrology. He's like fire signs, really, and then not like surface level astrology. It was like deep astrology because he has like an astrologer that he uses, even though he's a Christian. I don't know how he's rectified that, but yeah, he was like breaking it down from like an astrological level. It's like they're gonna like this more, but then these type of women are gonna like this more, and these type of women are gonna like this more, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
not for me.
Right. Right. I think
Don't
the
care.
deepest I'd probably go is doing the Jungian archetypes, kind of incorporating that a bit more in the understanding people's personas. But in terms of the astrology and stuff, I feel like it might be too much.
Nah.
You know, I like the system of spark and safety. I think before I was working with like safe, seen, and desired, but I like the organization of spark and safety more, I think. And then I've layered it to kind of have an understanding of like isolating the specific points of attraction and what people need. And understandably, like kind of something you said earlier, different people have different needs and orientations. So that way you're not like, oh, if I follow this bullet list of characteristics and actions, I'll get what I want. That's not how it works.
Right. I feel like you automatically, if you're not giving spark and safety, it's really you have a issue upstream, which is just your development.
Yeah.
Because spark is really like you just being bold, and being bold is your default state because you were bold as a child, right? So why are you not bold now due to conditioning? So you have to get rid of that conditioning, right? That wiring. Safety is something. I think safety is more of a skill set. I think spark is more of like go back to your default setting.
Okay.
Safety is more of because again, kids don't give safety. Little boys don't give safety. Little boys give spark. Go back to my video where I talk about like if you want to create more spark. Appreciate you, Danny. If you want to create more spark, just act like the little boys on the playground with little girls.
Right.
Where they're playfully
I've sorted
teasing.
it as I think there's a skill to each, and there's also orientation. So, or not orientation, conditioning. So how you were raised and conditioned, and kind of like you said, like a lot of spark kind of leans in on being bold and unapologetic about who you are.
Yeah, spark is more so about removal. Safety is more about addition.
Right. Right.
It's oversimplification, but it's still true, right? You aren't making a move because you're scared, not because you don't know to make a move.
Right.
Like even the act of smets is innate. You know how to do it innately.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just conditioned into you genetically, or wired into you genetically. Animals can do it, right? It's instinctually you should know how to do it, right? So spark is more about like, why are you not making a move? It's not how to make a move. You know how to make a move. Why are you not doing it, right? You feel when you want to. When you want to kiss her, you feel that. You feel when you want to grab her hand. You feel when you want to like progress into actual smiths. You just stop the expression of those things. So spark is going to be, even when it's like playfully teasing, you know when Shorty says something goofy that you want to make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not doing it? You know what I mean? Oh, because you're scared, because you're conditioned, right? So spark is more so about removal. Safety is, that's where skill cultivation is needed. True safety. Remember, there's a shadow aspect to both. True safety, like emotional intelligence, is a skill set. Attunement is a skill set. Right? Protecting and providing are also skill sets. You got to know how to make money.
True that.
You got to know how to fight. It's not innate. You got to learn these things. Right? So this is such good stuff. I haven't talked about any of these things from this perspective. I have to rewatch this live. But yes, it's about adding on to yourself. So probably make a visual out of this too. Put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm once I'm done with my school semester here, I do want to work on graphics for a lot of these kind of frameworks I've been working on in Notion. I feel like that would be the best way to illustrate them, in kind of a visual way that people could read and look at and get at least a basic understanding of. Because I know you and I can converse about this all day and get a pretty strong understanding of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'd probably lean better into the visuals and writing side of teaching
Right.
this stuff. So that's probably the direction I'll probably be going this summer, outside of my usual coaching.
Nice. Definitely do it, man. The more people making content, the merrier. Because people need it, and most of these guys out here are they're just not good at conveying the message. There's guys who I know who I'm like cool with. I watch their content. I'm like, oh boy, this shit sucks. I like you as a
Yeah.
person, but my God, this shit sucks. The heart of what you're saying is true. You just can't articulate it for some reason. I'm looking at a visual of a guy who I'm talking about right now. I won't say his name, but I'm literally looking at his face right now. I'm like, this shit sucks. But good dude though. But yeah, it's as long as the message gets out there, that's the most important thing. Because a lot of people, speaking of which, if you want your 1 hour coaching call, 2 weeks of DM support, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside the dialogue box. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. Right? But yeah, even with the women that I work with, it's like trying to teach them spark and safety as well and how it applies to them. Because historically I've always talked about it from like a male perspective, like how men can apply it, but it also applies to women as well, and they need just as much work as men do. A lot of this stuff has been forgotten. These things used to be passed down from generation to generation. Right now, even the wisdom that's being passed down. Oh, this is good. Thank you. Even the wisdom that's being passed down generationally is defensive. It used to not be so defensive. It used to be offensive. Like you will hear women say like, the way to a man's heart is his stomach, shit like that, right? It's offensive strategy. It's not defensive. It's offensive strategy. Now is how to get his money.
Yeah.
Or always have more than one.
Or never cook for him.
Right. Don't do anything for him, right? And then on the male side, it is don't get married. A lot of men tell men not to get married at all.
Yeah.
So now the wisdom that's being passed down is defensive in nature.
True that. I need to start the map for the ladies because I do agree with you. I feel like there's a concept to be taught for them as well. But I guess kind of like you said, my orientation's always been around, mainly being a guy that dates women and talking to other guys. I probably need to just sit down and flesh it out.
I probably wouldn't try to do like women and men starting out. It's too much, man. You can go down the rabbit hole. My coach still only coaches men. $300K per year, probably more now. Probably about $500K per year now with his business. Just men, right? There's so much to unpack. That's why I was so resistant to coaching women, and I still only coach women who come on this live. I don't make content for women. I don't make any TikTok videos for women. I don't make any YouTube videos for women. If you're a woman and you work with me, it's because you found me here. Because I'm not trying to bring in. It's too much. Both of the masculinity and femininity are so deep. I feel like if you fracture your focus and try to learn both at a deep level, you're going to miss shit. That's also why I only work with women on like with men, they get the 1 hour call and then they could be upsold to like the full 3-month package. Women stay on that 1 hour call.
I don't know. That makes sense. They are deep. I think right now I'm just taking in who I can for experience.
I'm with you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Just
from like
I don't do the fitness. I'm in my bag with that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, cause I forgot you do the fitness thing as well. But it's like you definitely want to think about this from like a business perspective though, because like I don't know what your business background is, but like they say riches are in the niches. So you can make an argument that I could niche down a lot more. Like I could talk to just successful men or just black successful men. Only reason why I don't talk to black men is because black men inherently are resistant to this type of content because of the masculinity that's inherent, the pride that's inherent within our communities,
Yeah.
black men's communities. Like, there's not a black man I know that will be like, I've hired a coach.
Right.
Even if they do so,
Right.
they're certainly not leading with that shit. They don't want, not for women. No, they get you laughed at. You're supposed to just know how to do that. Well, most of my male clients are white. A lot of them are foreigners. Most of them, I think I have like what? I think I work with like 3 black men. I'm giving a speech supposedly in Miami the 23rd by like a group of like successful black men. They fly me out to there to give a speech, but do I think I'm gonna get a lot of clients from that speech? Nope. Maybe, but nope. I'm just doing it to get in my speaking bag. Cause I know that's a whole nother the AI flyer. That wasn't AI, Kiana. That was, I think he made it with AI, but that's a real picture of me. That's my headshot for acting. I gotta redo it. I was a little bit heavier then. But yeah, this just I'm just doing it to open up the speech. I need a few shots of me giving a speech so I can enter into the public speaking circuit.
I hear you.
But as far as like, do I feel like talking to a group of black men is going to increase my client load? No. Because a lot of black men are also conditioned to be like, just pay for it. Just pay for it, right? You look at music, like hip hop and stuff like that, it's like, just pay for it. She wants the money, so just pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why do I even need all this shit? Why do I need game? Why do I need sparking safety if I got this money on?
Right. You just have status and money.
I mean, it gets them what they want. So
True.
if it's not broke, don't fix it. They're not looking at the value in like partnerships. A lot do. Don't get me wrong. There's like a lot of, especially like within the group of like the more affluent, they value marriage and stuff like that. I'm just speaking more so like generally. Like generally, that's not the audience. Then he got his first black. Are you taking the clients for free or are you doing paid?
Taking them in for free right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, get it. That's what I did, bro. That's what I did. Get some good experience, get some results, get your testimonials.
Yeah.
So they got some good results. That's why you do it for free. It's really for the testimonial. You get them testimonials, you slap them things up, and you get cooking.
Yeah, that's my goal. I know it's kind of like the event hosting. It's going to be a slow start, but I'm doing it because I genuinely like helping others. The reason I started hosting events was because I wanted to encourage people to get off dating apps, and I thought the best way to do that was to provide something that was worth their time investing in inside the apps. A lot of the dating events can be mediocre and expensive, so
right.
It was kind of my main motivation for doing that, because you certainly don't host events if you want to be a millionaire. And then I think part of coaching is just me kind of graduating into something I was already kind of orienting towards when I was developing kind of my concepts and systems. And then as I've discovered you and gotten to know you more and seen kind of the value that coaching can provide, I think that's kind of a good direction for me to move in.
Yeah, you're gonna like it, man. You're gonna be successful with it. You're gonna like it. Takes a while to get going. My shit's still getting going. Certainly not having a ride yet, but we definitely got a lot of good stuff happening. Yeah, I mean, it definitely, when they express how much you helped them and that you were the catalyst for their life going into another direction, that lights you up inside.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It does feel good when I point out something someone hasn't heard, or they haven't seen yet, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't really see it that way," and I give them a new understanding of their situation or why they do something. That's been a good feeling so far. And I think the more I do these conversations, the more comfortable I've gone in them. Even doing it on streams and stuff, they could be like just short, brief conversations, whether it's about fitness or dating or just a question about being more social. It does feel good to give someone the guidance they need, even if it's just pointing them in the right direction.
All right. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. But I'm jet lagged, so I'm about to hop off. But
Yeah, get some rest.
yeah, brother. But I will see y'all tomorrow at noon, I believe. So if I didn't get to your call today, I will get to it tomorrow. Again, if you want your 1 hour coaching call with your 2 weeks of DM support, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside the dialogue box. Shoot me a message. I will be in touch. Till next time, folks. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care. All right, YouTube.